for the beach, but we're good.
A little colder than I thought it would be.
Alex, at the top of the show, we started by talking about how big the stakes are tonight.
Yep.
How would you describe the magnitude of this game for the Cowboys?
Honestly, Susie, it's hard to even put into words. Like, just think about the Cowboys. They won 12 games last year and lost in the wild card round. They won 12 games again this year, right? Like, can they take the next step? They've won more games in the last 2 years than any team in the NFC, but you have nothing to show for it. And surrounding them yet, here they are, the winningest team in the conference. We got questions about the head coach's future, right? All of a sudden, we're questioning Dak's ability, right? I mean, Dan Orlovsky, our own Dan Orlovsky, had him like ranked 12th out of 14 QBs going into the playoffs. Like, that's almost unfathomable for me how we've gotten here despite their success in the regular season. And this is the stage where they can either confirm or rewrite all of that.
How does he carry that pressure?
I think he's built for it because he's got the star on his helmet and he does it every single week.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is a team that they are literally playing on primetime week in and week out. And I even think they relish it a little bit. I even think the Week 18 dud against the Commanders was a little bit of that effect. We're not on prime time.
Really?
This game doesn't really matter, and they kind of laid an egg. Yeah.
Okay, well.
He's got to be able to rely on the run game tonight.
100%, Susie. Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard. This vaunted running game has not averaged more than 4 yards per carry since December 11th. If Dak's going to get out of his rut, the turnover bug, they got to lean on these guys. And as you guys talked about this, Dak's 14 of his 15 interceptions this year have come on plays that are not play-action pass. So if they can play-action pass and run the ball effectively, that's going to help them eliminate all the pressure that's on this man right here that you see on your screen.
They've got to be able to get him into a rhythm, especially after last week's performance. Got to be able to get him into a rhythm early.
No doubt. Certainly a ton of the pressure's on Dallas, right? Like, they have Super Bowl expectations. I mean, Jerry Jones, he's put it out there. I agree. The trials and adversity that Dak has had, the picks, the pick sixes, I think it's going to be important for get him a couple completions, get him going.
All right, we've got tons to get to on this matchup, but let's go back to more from Sunday and the other wild card games. Giants at Vikings, both offenses trading their best shots, but the standout performance goes to Daniel Jones, just showed poison in the pocket this one to Isaiah Hodgins, throwing for 301 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Daniel Bellinger and the toughness. He led the Giants in rushing. Jones ran for 7 first downs. The Giants' D was a pressure-cooking machine. They shut down Justin Jefferson and walk off with a win.
I'm impressed. I'm not shocked. He's been doing it all year, man. He's really been balling. He's a heck of a player. He's a special player. And, this way you can create a legacy in the playoffs. And what a way to start it off. And I'm just happy for him, proud of him. And we're going to keep needing him and keep leaning on him. I know we have an elite quarterback. And I think he's shown that most of the time. But we also got amazing players around him, too. So we got his back no matter what.
I've said it all year. He's been good for us. He continues to be good for us. And he played a good game. And I think there's a lot of other people that play good games, too, to help him play a good game. He'll be the first to admit it. But as the leader of our football team, I'm proud of him.
I thought it was a little better than good, wouldn't it?
I think it was a little better than good.
Set a record.
He's the third quarterback in NFL history to have 300 passing yards and 75 rushing yards in a playoff game, joining Lamar Jackson and Steve Young.
Steve.
And Jones is the only one who led his team to a win when putting up those numbers, which I would say, to Dable's point, coaching. It means so much. But we would also say that Jones was more than just good. What does this game mean for him?
Well, the game is a fulfillment of the whole season. Brian Dable came in and Daniel Jones last year, coming into the season, he was leaking oil everywhere.
Yes.
It was like, I don't know what we have. I have no idea what he can do. And he gave them more by asking less of Daniel Jones. Yeah. The whole season has been about simplifying things. Take it, quiet it in his mind. And you see in this game, there's subtle little differences that happen in scheme that allow for the ball to come out quickly, and people are wide open, like a short motion. The nickel safety comes out of the way, and now you're going to run a slant. Look how open this is because of the little wrinkle in the formation and the motion. Same thing here. We're going to have a triple kind of crossing route from the left, and Saquon's going to come out very quickly, get the ball out, wide open, for a big gain. And in that way, it's Danny's doing, if that's Danny's dimes, We can do that all day long. Let's keep that going. Here's a little wrinkle with the 2 tight ends, throwing a little, coming inside on the blitzer. The outside safety panics for a second, doesn't know who to take, and comes up short. All of a sudden, it's an easy walk-in touchdown. Daniel Jones is growing into, again, and flourishing from, he had to take a step back, simplify things, quiet the mind, and now from Coach Dayball, they can actually build into it. What is his ceiling? I don't know. It could be amazing. All we know is that he is ready to go find out how high that is, and that's what's so fun about what he did yesterday.
Yeah, Stephen, what you're illustrating there is really just Daniel Jones' decision-making, right? It's improved. There was a huge question last year, and now head coach Brian Daboll's come in, and he's cleaned all that up. He has Daniel Jones now playing football, not just playing quarterback, right? When he drops back to pass and it's there, boom, he hits it. When he drops back to pass and it's not there, he uses his legs.
Decisive.
With urgency, 78 rushing yards. Daniel Jones, with the playoffs included, has more rushing yards than anyone in the NFL at quarterback except for Justin Fields. So when you talk about a dual threat, he is truly maximizing that. And I think that Brian Daboll deserves a whole lot of credit for the offensive system that he put in place when he came to New York. This team does not have the same talent as Buffalo. But he didn't care. He didn't complain about it. He just came in. He put together a plan to maximize his roster, and he did exactly that. He deserves all the kudos in the world for that.
Coaching. Right,
It matters.
I'm almost afraid to bring this next topic up.
Go ahead. We're open for anything. We're good. We're tougher
Kirk
than
Cousins, what did he do for his narrative about his performances in big games?
I thought Kirk played one of his best games of the season.
No question.
31 for 38. He set a Vikings playoff record for completions. And for everybody out there that has this narrative, Kirk Cousins lost this game, go kick rocks. He was absolutely outstanding. What lost the Vikings game was their defense. Their defense all year long has been 28th in points, 31st in yards. Danny Dimes, he went against that defense yesterday. It's no wonder he had his best game of the season.
We're running pretty free. I admit.
That defense was absolutely terrible. And everybody is going to talk about the 4th down play. Well, Kirk should have thrown the football down the field. Well, you know what? Let's take a look at the 4th down play. Big Dexter Lawrence and All-Pro. It's 4th down and 8. It's a money down, Steve. We got to have it. Let's watch the pass rush inside, number 97. He is in Kirk Cousins' face. Where is he going with the football? Let's spin it around with this technology. Maybe he wants to go to Jefferson. Now, Jefferson is double covered. What about the other receivers? You know what? He's man-to-man also at the top. He's man-to-man. The only person he can go to is the tight end there. So everybody's going to talk about Kirk Cousins checking the football down. I ask you quarterbacks, where else is he going with the football?
The only thing you could say is that you have the best receiver in the game.
He was double covered.
With the game on the line and the leverage that the linebacker had on the out route, you can say, look, throw one up, see if you can make a play on a 4th down.
The 4th down is a different conversation.
Why do we spend the time? He had a great game. It was just one play.
I agree.
It's not worth
because the narrative is out there that Kirk Cousins can't play in big games.
Right.
And I'm not here for it today.
Well, let me tell you, Boog, the only way to change that, trust me, as the other 3 of us know, the only way to change that is to go win. So we cannot show that film and go, oh no, don't have that narrative. Let's be easier on Kirk Cousins. Until you do it, it's like I used to say, like, if you can win the MVP of the league, you can go deep in the play. You don't go all the way, you're on the train out of town. That's just how it is.
I agree with both of those, but to be fair, if you watch the film, Kirk Cousins played unreal.
Yes.
I mean, he was getting hit every single play. He stood in there and played. Honestly, it was one of the best games I've ever seen him play in a loss.
But Alex,
on the other hand, they're at home. They give up 31 points to the New York Giants, 430 yards. I mean, almost 5 yards. No turnovers, no takeaways. Like,
tonight,
point the finger at him it's unfair.
Think about it. If Dak plays great tonight and they lose, you don't change the narrative. You've got to win the football game. So, it's playoff football. That's how it happens. And you win, changes the narrative, even if you don't play well. It's crazy about playoff football.
Yeah, I agree with you, Boog. I think that he did play one of his better games. Yeah. The bottom line is that for Kirk Cousins, every critic out there was waiting to see what he was going to do on that last drive of the game. The fact of the matter is Kirk Cousins had 8 game-winning drives this year. Right?
They were the best in the league.
But they were in the regular season. 1-3 in the playoffs, and then when you look at that game, if he had thrown the ball to Justin Jefferson, we probably wouldn't even be having this conversation about the check down.
He threw in the double coverage.
I understand. I'm not saying that he should have.
Understood.
I'm saying that, we talked about narratives with Lamar Jackson. This is definitely a narrative with Kirk Cousins that he, over the last couple of years, has actually done much better than people have given him credit for. But because it happened the way that it did, that's why people are saying what they're saying.
Look, the back shoulder wasn't open. It was the back shoelace that was open.
Okay, I got you.
All right, so meantime, it's the Giants moving on to face the top-seeded and division-leading Eagles. That's a big one on Saturday night. Next stop for this crew after tonight, the NFL is headed back to Las Vegas, and so are we for the 2023 Pro Bowl games with all new skills challenges and the first ever NFL flag football game.
Double down.
I can't wait.
Blackjack, baby, 17.
You can catch all the action featuring Peyton and Eli squaring off as head coaches on Sunday, February 5th, right here on ESPN.